Hi everyone, my special guest today is another former student, Aide Lara. She took my intermediate 1 as well as my intermediate 2 accounting classes online at Santa Monica College in 2019. Generally, I don't get to know my online students that well compared to my on-campus students. However, for some reason, we connected really well, and I was finally able to meet her in person when she attended the Accounting Diversity Conference, a conference that I organize on campus each year. Through that event and other opportunities I shared with my students, she was able to land an internship with EY, which is one of the 4 largest accounting firms in the world. That internship eventually led to her full-time job opportunity today as an audit associate in EY's Los Angeles office. Aide, it's great to have you as my guest speaker today. As always, I love talking to you, so thanks for coming.
Hi, Professor Liu. Thank you for having me.
So I have a bunch of questions for you. I hope you don't mind answering them. So
Not
the
at
first
all.
question, the first question I have for you is, you're currently working at EY's Los Angeles office. Can you briefly talk about your company and why it is a great place to work?
Yeah, if you're in accounting, you might already know EY is one of the big 4 accounting firms, and EY specifically provides 4 different types of services, which is accounting, tax, transactions, and advisory, if I didn't name that already. So I am in assurance, and I was taking classes at Santa Monica back in 2019, and during that time frame was when I saw an email from the accounting department at Santa Monica College that EY was recruiting and offering different opportunities for students to apply to, and one of them was their launch internship. So that is actually one of the things that I do enjoy about EY, is that they provide a lot of different ways to get involved with the firm. So I specifically did the launch internship, which is a rotational internship, which allows you to, as an intern, to dip your toes in their different service lines. So I got to experience tax and audit. I know other people got to try advisory as well. And after that internship, I did get a full-time offer, and that's when I decided to go into audit.
Your current title is an audit associate. That's the position everyone starts off entering the firm. Now, what is a typical day like for you working as an associate? What type of work do you do on a daily basis?
Yes, so right now my title is Staff 1 level audit associate. So as a Staff 1, what I do, because I'm still new to the role, a lot of the mornings, I am remote. I forgot to mention that due to the current situation. I am remote, so I will log on and check in with my senior who, as a senior, you have more experience of what tasks need to be prioritized. So once I get a list of to-dos, my day can vary day to day. It just depends on what we've received from the client. So a lot of that can include helping prepare work papers, which if students do decide to join audit, you will see that there's plenty of areas that we test. So I will help set up those papers, and other days I will be helping with control testing. It depends on whether you're on a private client or a public client, and things might just look a little different.
Now, something else I wanted to ask, I actually want to switch gears now. I want to talk a little bit about Santa Monica College in our accounting program. For my viewers that don't know, we at SMC offer the traditional transfer courses, of course, right? However, we also offer a full range of upper division accounting and business courses for those students who already have a 4-year bachelor's degree, but want to pass a CPA exam so they can switch careers to work in accounting. Aide, you were someone who went through our program and did very well. You originally graduated from the University of California at Santa Barbara in sociology, and then came to SMC to complete all your upper division accounting courses. Can you tell my viewers why you chose SMC and your experience going through the program?
Yes, so after graduating from UCSB, I started in a bookkeeping position, and I did that for about 2 years. So when I started considering going further in my accounting career, I wanted something that allowed me the flexibility to work full-time, but also still get that foundation that I needed. So Santa Monica College was one of those schools. And what I liked and grabbed my attention initially were the online classes. And not only are there online classes, there are on-campus and hybrid classes. So that was the first thing that grabbed my attention. The second thing, once I was in the program, that I really suggest people to consider is just the support that these professors provide. Like you yourself, we've built a great connection, and I consider you a great mentor. And I had that experience with every accounting professor that I took a course from, as well as the accounting department. That's where I was able to get this internship. So I feel like, I don't know about other community colleges, but I do know that I felt really supported there, especially as a non-traditional student, having already had my 4-year degree. I felt not having had that accounting experience in school, I wanted to be able to experience it. And despite being a remote student and I'm online, I felt like I still had that experience.
I want to talk about the Accounting Diversity Conference. This is a conference I organize each year at Santa Monica College. I started this annual conference back in 2018 because I wanted to do something to encourage and empower students, particularly underrepresented minority students, to follow a career in accounting. I invite various accounting professionals, a number of which were former students, to come back and talk to students and make them considering accounting as a career. I also have recruiters from the top accounting firms hold different workshops on practical topics such as interviewing, resume writing, personal branding, networking, etc. The conference has had such great success because several of the students who attended, like yourself, were eventually able to secure high-paying internships as well as full-time job offers at top accounting firms. Can you share with my viewers your experience attending the conference in the past?
Yes, so it was definitely my first time attending one of these conferences. And when I first got there, just the diversity felt very welcoming. It didn't feel like there was a certain ethnicity or age group. It was people of different backgrounds. And just that itself, I feel, if you've never attended one of these, right away you're feeling welcome. And then the other thing I really enjoyed about the diversity conference is that once the guest speakers came in, again, you saw that diversity, and not in just a certain accounting area. It wasn't just audit or tax. It was people in consulting and in higher roles like directors. And once we got to network in that environment, I feel you benefit from that conference because you'll have recruiters there. I remember speaking to a recruiter from EY. So because I hadn't been able to do that as a remote student, attending that conference allowed me to interact one-on-one with a recruiter.
Wonderful. So again, now you're at one of the top accounting firms in the world.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that conference benefited you as well as many other students. Got one last question for you, right? So most of my guests I invite to come speak on my YouTube channel do not come from wealthy families and or had to overcome a lot of adversity in life. Thus, I always like to ask them to share how they overcame these obstacles. Could you share with my viewers 3 tips or strategies that help you succeed in college and or in life?
Yes, as a first generation student myself, I felt something that I had to learn, and I feel a lot of first generations experience this, is learning to ask for help. I feel when we're navigating school and then going into the professional world, we've done it alone. So one of the things I really recommend is asking for help, whether it's in academics or if you're going through something personally, look for that help, which then leads to making sure you use your resources. I know Santa Monica College and a lot of colleges now provide those type of resources, whether it's financial. If you need a tutor, I know there's drop-in sessions for homework help and counselors, just making sure you use those resources to succeed in your courses. And then also making sure you network. And I feel when you hear the word network, it's kind of off-putting because you feel it's just being professional. But a lot of the times, just asking a question and using your resources is networking in itself. And once you do that, I feel it just comes naturally. You build connections professionally and you meet people who you can rely on and ask for questions that you might not always know the answers to.
Well, thank you for sharing these great tips. I really appreciate you making the time to do this video with me today. And it's just interesting. I still remember before I even started this YouTube channel and you were my student, we actually got together on a Zoom session and we had discussed, we even experimented, right? You pretended to be my guest. We experimented playing around and thinking about, creating these videos in the future. So I appreciate you helping me out from the very beginning. So I'm glad you're here now, right? Doing an actual video, talking about your career, giving valuable tips and advice to my students. So thank you so much. And I'm so happy I was able to play a small part in your educational process. I'm really happy right now to see you're doing well at EY. So great chatting with you today. I look forward to continuing to stay in contact with you in the future.